Hello and welcome to the April USDA Report webinar. My name is Tom Lilja, Market Analyst with Progressive Ag Marketing. Joining me today is President of Progressive Ag, Ray Grabansky, and Market Analyst Brian Strumman. Today we had the monthly stocks report from USDA. Brian, any surprises?
You know, that's a good question, Tom. The report came out this morning. Expectations were that we'd see a slight increase in wheat and corn stocks and a small reduction in soybeans, and basically close to that. We look at the corn stocks numbers. Again, they came in about 17 million bushels larger than what the trade estimates were. The difference there was that the feed and residual numbers were dropped by 50 million bushels. Ethanol was increased by 25 million bushels, and that was basically the difference in the report. As far as soybeans go, they were down 9 million bushels from trade estimates, and we did see a million bushel reduction in the wheat stocks. Ray, what do you see in the report? What do you think?
Well, you have to keep in mind a couple big picture things. These are 15, 16 numbers last year. And we already had March 31st acreage numbers this year. These aren't 16, 17 numbers. These are 15, 16 numbers, which are not even interesting right now to most traders. We're more interested really in, are we really going to plant 5 or 6% more corn acres, 5.6 million acres more, or and 9, 10% less wheat acres? That was almost 5 million acres less. So, soybeans down, what was it, 700,000 or something. So people are really trading 16, 17 numbers. These are 15, 16 numbers. You know, they are adjustments, so I thought the 15, 16 numbers in corn were worth about a penny decline on the day. But we were up 6 or 7 cents, 8 earlier, even on the Saudis saying they're going to control crude oil. The biggest movement today in the market is crude oil, up $1.30 or $1.40. Wheat right now is trading up 6 cents. The report I thought was worth, you know, almost nothing, even down a little on wheat, not because of U.S. numbers, but because of the world or major exporter stocks use. But it's 15, 16 numbers. And we're trading 16, 17 now. We're really looking forward to that, which May is the first month that USDA comes out with any 16, 17 numbers. So we got to keep that in mind. On the other hand, so corn is up 2 cents, wheat is up 6 cents on the market today, and soybeans are up 1. We were up a lot more earlier. The market actually set us back. This report at 11 o'clock actually set us back a bit, but we're still higher for the day. So the market is trading the report as if it was a bit negative, and I thought it was a bit negative. Corn, maybe 2 or 3 cents, and a bit negative in wheat, mainly because of those world numbers. And you know, maybe 3, 4 cents in wheat as well. But soybeans, it was actually maybe a little friendly. But soybeans actually were up 8 or 9, and now they're only up 1. So, you know, weather, maybe we really need to go back to the March 31st acreage and now talk about weather. And really, the market might be trading that and the Saudi deal. And this April report, 15, 16 numbers, which are old numbers, might be traded about how long it's been since the report came out. We're an hour after the report. It might be done. The report is done. It is not an interesting or earth-shattering report. Now we go back and trade. You know, that's done. We trade the weather. What's up there?
Well, and we're also to that time of the year when Progressive Ag starts using our weekly yield models based off the weekly crop progress report. And, you know, any surprises with Monday's crop progress report?
You know, not really, Tom. You look at the average as far as corn planting, we saw those numbers for the first time yesterday. came in at 4% planted, and the 5-year average again is at 4%. The winter wheat conditions again did drop 3% last week, and that was a little bit of a surprise after being at 59% last week, good to excellent, down to 56% good to excellent this week. A year ago we were at 41% good to excellent. So a slight drop in the winter wheat conditions, and that offered some support early today. As far as the spring wheat planting, again 13% versus a 10% 5-year average. So a lot of it, like you said, Ray, is weather. We have been extremely wet in the Delta region. Some of those expanded acres that we saw in the March 31st report, again, we're going to be in the Delta region. So we'll be watching that weather closely. Looks like the weather warms up and dries up this week in the eastern Corn Belt, so we'll see some planting progress take place there. We did see some early weakness in the wheat market this week, again with some rain over the weekend in the southwestern Plains states, but more of that is in the forecast for the upcoming weekend. So that's going to be closely monitored as we go forward.
Mm-hmm. Actually, to summarize though, man, I thought we had guys in wheat planting wheat, spring wheat, in the end of March, maybe like the 28th or so of March. In Montana, they were planting the last half of March. But in spite of as early as I thought we might be this year, the only thing we're really ahead of normal planting, according to our progress report yesterday, which is up to date, is a little bit ahead in spring wheat and just a little bit ahead in barley. Not that much. And so essentially we were warm in March, but most farmers don't plant in March, and they aren't going to plant in March. They certainly aren't going to plant corn, maybe only wheat and corn, or wheat and, spring wheat and barley. And so then it got cold the first 10 days of April, and what are we, April 12th? And they said, I can't plant now, it's too cold. So here we sit. We actually had no snow since mid-February here in most of the northern plains. And we really sit, average planting progress in corn, average in almost everything else. Oat development's behind. Winter wheat development is actually behind. And at 3% decline each week in winter wheat, it started pretty good. But we normally decline 1 or 2% every week. And it's forecast to rain next week in the western Corn Belt, including the hardwood winter wheat region. So, it looks to me like about average weather, which is a surprise to me. I thought we were so much earlier than normal, but it is, after all, April 12th. We normally don't have anything done, and farmers said it was too early, the soil's too cold, or it will get too cold again, and they were right. It got cold.
That's a good point too, Ray. I think when you look at the planting progress, I had a customer just today actually send me a picture of his thermometer in the ground in Nebraska. Said no planting as of yet. The soil temperatures were 38 degrees, and that was on his thermometer in the ground. So again, planting progress is slow, but the ground is still cold.
I haven't shoveled snow in a month and a half, so must be early. I'm a market analyst, but I haven't put my temperature thermometer in the ground, and farmers do. It's too cold to plant. Corn anyway, not spring wheat and barley, but corn.